Hi folks, welcome to the cabin at Frog Hollow. Today we continue our series of Great Lakes tyers and those who tied them. More of myself. This fly I specifically developed for fall steelhead. Our steelhead differ somewhat from the West Coast steelhead. One, they're not a native here. We brought them in the late 50s and early 60s. You know, in mass again, but you know, they've been around here for 130 years. Back in the late 1800s, they were brought to the Great Lakes. So the difference we feel, you know, with our salmon runs, same as the West Coast, but we have so much aquatic life in our rivers here that when the salmon start digging the reds and the steelhead come in behind them, they start eating whatever the salmon are flushing out of the gravel. One of the big things that I discovered early on in my guide career was one of the big things that they ate was caddis larvae. And these caddis larvae are 3 to 4 millimeters long, so they're small, so they eat a gazillion of them. Back in the days when we used to kill a steelhead from time to time, you know, I discovered in their intestinal tract, you know, packed green, and that packed green was caddis larvae. So we're going to tie it. Again, a curved hook, size 8, 10, even 12 sometimes, depending on water clarity. Very simple fly. First thing we're going to do is tie in a little ribbing wire, just to give that body that ribbed look. We'll tie in that ribbing wire. We're going to come back now and dub the body with some Scal-X Chartreuse. I first started tying this fly and I tied it with Aunt Lydia's rug yarn, and worked just fine. But I like the Scal-X. It has a lot of, you know, little wires and guards that come off from it, which kind of adds to the motion of the fly. I don't suppose that means a whole lot, but I like it. And you know, you got to fish a fly with confidence, always. And dubbing affords you the opportunity to build a tapered body if you so desire. So we're at about probably 3 or 4 millimeters right there. I'm just going to add a little bit more. And then we're going to rib the body and put the Peacock. I'm just going to fluff that up a little bit. Here comes the copper wire. I'm going to wrap that the opposite way that we wrap the dubbing. Again, to toughen that up a little bit. This is one of the easiest flies there is to tie. I by no means invented a caddis larva. I don't want to leave you with that impression. But I do believe I'm one of the first guys to fish it for steelhead. And it is just amazingly effective. And still is, for the very same reason. So here we go. Starting to look like a caddis already. This is a free-living caddis here in our rivers, and typically they are the Rhyocophilia caddis. Means that they move around and don't build those cases that immobilizes them. So when a rock gets turned over, they flush out into the drift, and they are food. And they range anywhere from a muddy brown olive to that bright a chartreuse. I'm just going to trim some of those dubbing hairs. And that is the Great Lakes steelhead nymph, caddis larva. And fish it with confidence. It is a great fly.